It's time for another third Saturday in October, your SEC Tailgate podcast for the rest of us. Today, we're covering the SEC East. Why? Because I'm Bradley and I cover the East. Chris has been covering the West. We're down to our last couple teams in the East, which means it's time for my team, Tennessee, represented by Coach Josh Huepel, also Velus Jones and Alontae Taylor from the offense and from the defense. So first, Coach Huepel, he wins my Giddy as a Schoolgirl award. He was very excited, the most excited East coach that I saw, and his energy just speaks to how much he wanted to be the UT coach and is the Tennessee coach, just how excited he is to be in that position. He said his first priority is relationships, which is something that Alontae Taylor mentioned when asked about the first time he got to meet Coach Huepel, which was actually just a video because Coach Huepel couldn't be on campus in the facilities that first day. Something that Coach Huepel mentioned is the last three national champions were posting 500, 550 yards per game in offense. So in order to win championships, you have to be putting up a lot of yards. So that's something that he's going to want to do, that his system is built to do, is put up a lot of yards per game. And he said great alignment speeds up the process of success. So just being aligned on the field, but also philosophically, schematically in those meeting rooms, being all aligned on the same page, it's going to mean success happens quicker. He mentioned new age approach. I think most of this is for offense and just his schemes, but also he hinted at uniforms. So could this mean that the Smoky Grays are coming back? Could it be some other new uniform? We'll see. The big question that he's going to be asked, not only at media days was he asked this, but until it happens, is who is going to be the starting quarterback? And when he doesn't answer that, when will he know? He put no timeline on it. So it's just a wait and see game. Here we are, second week of August, still don't have a starter named, but they feel comfortable in who they have. So then he was asked about what's the difference between the SEC and other conferences. He really had two answers. One, size and speed are different. He's used to a lot of speed at UCF. At Oklahoma, they've got some size too, but just not quite like they do here in the SEC. And he also said that recruiting starts earlier in the SEC. Maybe that's why they have such good recruiting classes. They just start earlier. And then finally, he said, even with a high octane offense, I think it's Monday morning. It's hard to speak, but with a high octane offense, you want to have a run pass balance. So being able to run the ball is still a priority in this offense. Let's get to Velus Jones. He's wide receiver. He's obviously very excited for this new offense. He's excited for himself. He's excited for the other receivers. And he said the team has bought in with these new schemes, this new coaching staff. The team's bought in. Good to hear. And he was asked about JT Daniels, quarterback at Georgia, as they're both USC transfers. And he said he couldn't get JT Daniels out of his apartment when they were at USC, just playing video games, hanging out. So I thought that was very funny. And then Alontae Taylor, who has been a staple in the secondary for years. He's a cornerback. asked about the guys transferring in. He said newcomers are hard workers, and he's learning new teammates with new systems is kind of what it boiled down to. So I think they're really just focused on learning each other, getting to know each other so they can trust each other as they learn this new system. He was also asked about guys leaving in the transfer portal. He said, seeing guys leave was hard, but they're still family and they have to do what's best for themselves, do what's best for their families. And so it didn't seem like there are any hard feelings there. And then he was asked about coming back for his senior season. He said, being from Tennessee, wanting to finish his degree, made this decision really easy. And then being asked about being a leader during COVID, he said it was hard, not being able to see everybody in person. But it just meant staying in contact with each other, whether that means text messages, phone calls, Zoom calls, whatever. You just got to stay in contact. And like a lot of other players, he was asked about name, image, and likeness, and he said, "I'm going to focus on football first." He's focused on that part. And at Tennessee, there's a lot going on that you really need to be focused on football if you want to succeed. It's not going to come as easy to win as maybe some other programs. So it's great to hear that they're focused on football. He hasn't taken advantage of any name, image, and likeness offers to this point. So we'll see what comes of it. What I think, I don't know. Alontae Taylor, great with the media. Velus Jones, really good as well. Coach Huepel, like I said, Giddy is a schoolgirl. Just good to see him excited. Just in comparison to some other coaches at Media Days and Jeremy Pruitt, our previous coach, just a lot more energy, which I think is just, I think offensive coaches tend to be that way. Defensive coaches, when they're talking to the media, a little more stoic, a little more of a furrowed brow. Coach Huepel was just rip roaring, ready to go. Excited to see it. I do think that I don't know. I came away having better feelings about Coach Huepel than maybe I've had in the past. This is the first press conference I've really watched with him. It's also a different press conference than any of the others because he's not just in front of Tennessee media. He's in front of all the SEC media. So good to see. Makes me excited. We'll see how this season plays out. There's a reason we play the games, because excitement and talk is not how you win football games. So can't wait for next month when we get the SEC kickoff. Tennessee starting with Bowling Green. I'm ready. It seems like the players are excited as well. I know the coach is excited. So we've got a couple more teams. We'll finish out this week, and we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, roll Vols.